one family, one people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, one planet, one love, one family.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. Wherever you're tuning in from, we welcome you. My name is Lisa Ferrero, and we've got a couple people in the house today who aren't away on vacation or are recovering from the holiday, the long weekend, trying to remember what day it is when holidays start this early. Today's subject, we're going to talk about awakening joy, and what that means and how that works exactly in spiritual life, but in life in general. Like, I think sometimes we have this idea that spirituality is only within us, or it's only outside. I see happiness when I'm doing certain things, but we can be spiritual 24/7. Everything becomes a spiritual practice when we do it with the heart of joy and with the mind of the infinite working through us as us. So thinking about the things that you love and enjoy doing, we'll start talking about that today. So shout it out. Something that brings you joy. Music, gardening, nature, water, things like this bring us joy. When the computer wants to shut down, that doesn't bring me joy, but it doesn't upset me either. And that's what we're going to talk about. I think, how many of you started on the spiritual path and thought that someday I'm going to reach that plateau where joy all the time? Be honest. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, sometimes. What it is mostly is like finding that joy within, where we can be, when challenges approach or come our way, things that we would not choose to have happen. Finding a way to experience that, but bring yourself back to joy. So it's forgetting, remembering. But it's how quickly, just like meditation, how quickly we recognize, hey, I'm not feeling joy about this, or I'm taking this too seriously, how quickly we can bring ourselves back. That's the spiritual practice. It's not that things are never going to go wrong again, like thinking of things you would totally change if you could. Hopefully it's not that you're sitting here with me today. But finding a way back to the joy as soon as we recognize, hey, I'm taking this as if it's the main thing in my life right now. This too shall pass. So when we're experiencing joy, remember that too shall pass. So hold on to it as best you can. When you're experiencing joy, go for it. Go for all of it. So this morning, we usually start with a period of Qigong meditation. So what I'd like to do is an internal practice of Qigong. Usually Helen will lead us in a practice that is like bringing in the energy from outside and awakening it in ourselves and pulling it in. But today I want to internalize it a little bit. So here's a meditation practice we're going to start. So if you're sitting on a chair, sit with your feet flat on. Everybody in the room is back right in the right position. Flat on the floor. Put your palms turned upward at the juncture of the thighs and the abdomen. And spine straight. So you might just gently touch your shoulder blades together, chin parallel to the floor, opening up that meridian pathway in the back, the medulla oblongata, the mouth of God. What we're going to do is we're going to visualize chi, energy, as light. So look at a light that you can see wherever you're seated, wherever you might be at the moment. Just pull in a light and pull it right into the third eye region, right here. And allow that light to just permeate the space at the point between the eyebrows. Now mentally, push the light to the back of the throat. Allow it to drop to the back of your throat. And now swallow the light. And as you swallow it, feel it float down the back of your throat, through your esophagus, right through the center of your chest. It's going to make a circle. We're going to make a circle of chi through the chakras, straight down, across the navel. And then allow it to go underneath, like around the bottom of your body, your torso. And then start it at the base of the spine in the back. And bring it up. Do it as quickly or as slowly as it goes, but steady as it goes, and just keep it moving. Up, up, through the back of the base of the brain, the tip of the spine, up over the top of your crown chakra, top of your head, and then down again to the point between the eyebrows. Swallow it again, making these circles of chi. If you lose the thread, start back at the beginning. Just take a moment to feel the light. Allow the cells to pull all the energy into the spine. Just making these circles of pure white light. By running it through the chakra centers, those wheels of energy that resonate to colors. But when we put white light through them, we get the prism of multicolored lights. And the trillions of cells are nourished by this, bringing it into the spine, turning off the senses, focused only on the light. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And continue your practice of this as we listen to a song that Eddie Gallagher and I recorded called Peace Begins With Me.
When the world feels heavy with sorrow and my heart hangs weary and sore, when I start to lose my faith in tomorrow and see no end to this endless wars, I close my eyes and hear a voice whisper quietly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. Trying to find out way to peace, we must see that peace is the way. Peace isn't every step we take, it's how we walk through every day. So close your eyes and hear a voice whisper lovingly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. Peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath, peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every breath, peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath.
In this moment, I open to the peace within me. And as I open to the peace, I open to the joy also within. In the well of my soul, the depth of my being holds the treasure of peace, the treasure of joy, as within, so without. When I go to the well of joy in silent meditation, I find more joy in the world in which I live, move, have my being at full expression. Oh, infinite divine beloved, guide me always to remember this joy, to turn to the soul as my divine birthright. From joy I have come, in joy I live, in that sacred joy I melt. Om Shanti, peace, and so be it. So bringing your attention back to the room, where you are, maybe stop here a little bit, bringing it back. How did you experience the light meditation? Pretty nice. It's a good one. You can do that anywhere, especially when you're in a place where you're not really experiencing joy so much. Or even if it's just not about experiencing joy, you're just waiting on someone. Maybe in a waiting room, or maybe you're waiting for a plane to take off, or you're sitting in traffic. Don't close your eyes. That wouldn't be such a great idea. So we were talking a little bit earlier, just right before we did the meditation practice on peace, about where we find joy. Where we find joy. I've got some new sneakers on. I found joy when I bought these. And I was asked, oh, do you play soccer? I used to play soccer a long time ago. And I realized I found great joy when I bought shin guards. So I wouldn't get kicked in the shin playing soccer all the time. This is many, many years ago. But yeah, some people were more skilled than others, let's just say it like that, and run up to the ball and kick you right in the shin. What do you do? So yeah, that was one thing. That was not very joyful, but the game itself was kind of fun. It could be very fun. But experiencing joy. So I like to start with definitions of joy. Those of you who've heard me speak before, I like to start Merriam-Webster. I always check to find out what the definition is, and one that we could all agree on, so that we'll have a frame of reference as we move into the topic of joy. So Merriam-Webster says, joy is to experience great pleasure or delight. We accept that one? That's pretty good. All right. Similar, I was talking about the Beatitudes the other day from the Bible. We find them in Mark and Luke. Those are the ones that start with blessed are the poor, blessed are the, all of that. So it started from the Sermon on the Mount. But I found it interesting. Joy can be something very simple. It's a simple thing. When we don't complicate it with the intellect, we can find joy in the simplest things. We were just talking about a little 18-month-old baby. Simple. They watch them play with things. They'll play for hours with. I remember many years ago when my nieces and nephews were little, it was the first two were the ones that everybody got spoiled pretty well. But the first, everybody wanted that child to play with the thing you bought at Christmas time. And I got this rather elaborate Christmas card. And it was like a great big Victorian house with lots of doors. It was a big card. And it was just part of the gift. But my niece played with that for 2 days. It was a simple little but it was magical enough to open up the aperture on her, engage her imagination. And so this is what it is. The joy of something simple engages us in ways that take us within and promote more of this idea that my happiness is not conditioned on things outside of me. So when they are, it's kind of like when we read in scriptures, whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or Buddhism or Christianity or any other, like the goddess worlds. Anytime we have a false belief, it creates, in the material, vibrational, dimensional, vibrational reality, it creates the image of that thing in front of us. The more we feed it with our energy of thought, it's almost like we're using our willpower to create the thing that we would most likely want to have. And when we charge a thought with our will, it has to come to fruition. It's like we're pulling the elements of this divine universe together to create this thing. And it gets in the way of our joy. It precludes us from going deep within. That's what the idea of a false god before you, or a false goddess before you is. It's something that we created in mind, that we experience in a way that makes us not feel the joy that is inherent in our true nature. It's the soul's resonant state of resonance is bliss. So the more we feel that, the more we know we are tuning in to the joy of the soul. So the beatitude, actually that word means a state of utmost bliss. A state of utmost bliss. So why I draw those two together is one of the beatitudes is blessed are the poor of heart. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. And part of that, if you've ever experienced the death of someone very close to you, the realization is not far behind that love is stronger than death. It's an energy. We get out of these mortal coils, but the energy goes on, and it's that energy of bliss, that energy of joy, remains in ourselves, or remains in the world, the universe, if you will, to be tapped into. It's impossible to get rid of it. But blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. There's a way, that invitation allows us to, just when you think you've gotten to the bottom of the grief, you hit it, but then the trapdoor of the soul opens up. You drop deeper into the well of that which was there before the love of this person or this pet or this experience or that favorite restaurant or whatever it is, Things here, the nature of this world is duality, and things come and go. Come and go. Things, the energy remains. Just when you think, so the invitation, blessed are those who mourn, it's the invitation to realize that which you were so in love with here, I was here before that. Self, capital S self, soul, preceded anything we enjoy here. And it will be there after. It's eternal. So seeking the eternal joy of the soul is what I want to talk about, awakening that joy. Paramahansa Yogananda would say it like this: joy expresses itself under certain conditions, but it is not created by those conditions. Thus, when someone receives $1,000 and exclaims, "Oh, how happy I am," the condition of having received $1,000 has merely served as a pickaxe, releasing a fountain of joy from the hidden reservoir of bliss within. So in human experience, certain events are usually required to bring forth joy, but the joy itself is the perennial native state of the soul. So once again, in human experience, what we're doing right now, certain events are usually required to bring forth joy, but the joy itself is the perennial native state of the soul. So if it wasn't already inherent in our nature, nothing would bring you joy. Sometimes, do you ever get into a mood where you just feel like, I'm not going to be happy no matter what? Careful about those moods, because they become habits. You can, somebody maybe did something, or you just want to pout. You see little kids do this. They just don't want to snap out of it, or an adult acting like a child. They don't want to snap out of it. And no matter what you do, you try to make them laugh, and against their own will, like the soul wants to laugh, but they're gonna just stick to it. Do you ever do that? And then you finally get them to crack up laughing and the whole thing just disappears. Joy is powerful. So whatever it was you were saying brings you joy. Yes, please. That's kind of the go-to when there's something going on where you're just not feeling like it's just not getting through today. I don't know what it is. Find the thing that can stimulate it from the outside. That's one way to do it. Or go right to the well itself. I encourage, when I teach classes, I've got a retreat coming up in October in Texas. Most of what we're going to be talking about is tapping into the soul, tapping back into that. The go-to is when it's not working on the outside, go to that well and see what you have to pass through before you get to the door of your own soul, door of your heart. What has been stacked up? What have you created as a false god before you? That's kind of the challenge you have to get through to get to the soul. And recognize that that thing is not real. It's a construct of your imagination and the energy you put forth in it. So any negative circumstance, circumstances in and of themselves aren't positive or negative. They are just things. But we decide. Like if you wake up in the morning and you decide, I'm going to be happy today no matter what do you think will happen? You're going to be happy. But if you make up your mind not to be happy, no matter who's trying to make you happy, if you really make up your mind not to be, you won't. So it lies within the practice of creating the habit of joy, the habit of happiness. I remember many, many years ago now, it's getting longer every year, when I was in elementary school, I think about elementary school teachers and how amazing they are. As we get older, we realize how much time and effort they took to put together those little plays we would put on. Junior high school, like elementary school, this was a play in the 6th grade, and it was called Best Friends. And I think about our music teacher and the art teacher. They created the sets and the music and the story, and wow, thank you for doing that, teachers everywhere. But this particular one, they wrote a song, and the song was called Happiness Is. And it was, happiness is different things to different people. That's what happiness is. So our happiness in not being conditioned on the outside world, different things make different people happy. We don't all like to eat the same things. You don't know. So what this means to me, when I heard that song, I mean, I had a big realization about, yeah, if I'm a baseball player, it's a 3-game sweep, it's whatever it is you're doing. Baking, the Great British Bake Off, maybe you win that, or maybe you just are watching and you learn a new way of making something that you really enjoy eating. It can bring great joy to bring these things in, but recognizing we're all so different. And allowing people to experience joy the way they want to, and it doesn't mean you have to. Just leave them in their joy. Leave them in their joy. And you'll start to find you'll become more joyful. If you make up, I know I have some clients, sometimes we'll have a little practice during the week, it's the week of joy. This week I want you to keep a joy journal. It's not a gratitude journal, it's a joy journal. Either writing down where you witness people experiencing joy, but you're like the joy detective. You're gonna look out there for joy, and you wanna find evidence of it in your day-to-day life, in your regular routine, and in yourself, like what brings you joy or where you witness joy. And it's a really interesting practice because it could help get you out of a rut. If you look around in your regular circle for a week, there's not a whole lot of joy happening where you are. What do you think I would suggest? Yeah, branch out, go do something else then. Like if you can't find in a week at least 100 things, 20, I'd take 20, but you should find lots just watching people experience joy. Change your habits, move in different circles. And it starts to, I like it because it makes you introspect. It always brings it back in. The inward journey is where you're going to find that lasting happiness. If you don't see it outside, you bring the joy, right? It's not about making other people happy. It's about, wow, I need to bring my own joy. And don't be surprised, I've said this before, if you stop getting invited to parties because you're just too happy. It's like, not that much. I'm just too happy, I'm in a bad mood, don't bring her today. But it's a funny thing. Like if you really want to be happy, there's nothing more irritating to someone who just wants to be in a bad mood than a happy person. But that's not why we do it, right? It doesn't matter. It's experiencing more joy. So keep a joy journal this week. It's a really interesting way of seeing where you go, who you hang out with, like stores, grocery stores. There are some I like to go to, and I watch people looking happily at produce or things like that, The backyard, all the new animals that were born this spring, as they're starting to have a little more autonomy. Mama's always close by, but you see them running around doing their thing. I love it. I could sit there and watch the joy in my backyard all day long. So what is it for you? What brings you joy? If it's music, go listen to great music. Experience it. Let it nourish your cells. If it's dancing, dance more. But you don't have to be Barishnikov. Just move your body. Just get a little wiggle going. Get yourself out there. But so in human experience, certain events are usually required to bring forth joy, but the joy itself is in the perennial native state of the soul. There's something as simple as there's a restaurant around here that I quite enjoy. And one day, Helen and I went, and there was soup on the menu, and it was this chicken rice soup. And we had it all, and it tasted just like the chicken rice soup my mom makes. Just like it. And I've not had this in years. And so every time we go back, of course, it's the soup. So we've been there like 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. It's not that chicken rice soup. It's always some. So recently we went, and reluctantly, just kind of like bracing myself for it's probably not going to be rice soup. What's the soup today? And she goes, it's chicken rice. And the two of us screamed like, oh, God! And everybody looks, and we're like, we'd like a bowl of soup, please. How do you recover from that? And I thought, man, I must be getting excited about soup. But the thing of it is, it's not about old or young. It's about that joy just released from inside of us. It didn't come in somewhere like push through. It was in there. Bam! It had a reason to burst out with an exclamation of soup. So we tried to order a quart to take it home, but they were out of it already. So we had some, but we couldn't bring it home, which was even better. Because somehow you need that spontaneity. If I know I have it, will I experience that joy all the time? Probably I would, it's food. But I'm just saying, it's not like you have to have it in your possession or in the freezer. It's not going to make me any more happy than just being surprised that it was on the menu. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So looking for joy in simple places. So it says, do not seek fulfillment through material mediums or through desires born of such contact. Seek the unconditioned, indestructible, pure bliss within yourself. And you will have found the ever-existent, ever-conscious, ever-new joy of the infinite. Unlike material pleasures, this joy is not an abstract quality of mind or materialization. It is the conscious, self-born, self-expressing quality of spirit. Seek it and be comforted forever. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted by that divine spirit within, the thing that preceded the thing that you thought you could not live without. No, you can live without anything but the joy and the energy of the soul. That's what leaves the body when they exit. And this form is just kind of lifeless. There it is. We are not the body. We're not the body. We are that perennial, it's that joy. And that's what meditation helps to bring forth. If you're not seeing it in your life, or if you feel it, something brings you joy. Sometimes you'll see people close their eyes listening to a piece of music that's just, oh my gosh, it's so great. If you're feeling the joy, follow it back to the cave of consciousness from which it came. Get used to going within, bringing that joy forward. Then you go out in the world and you're surrounded in a bubble of joy. Yogananda says, I, a tiny bubble of laughter, have become the sea of mirth itself. I, a tiny bubble of laughter, have become the sea of mirth itself. The 13th century mystic poet Rumi said, all swimming in the ocean of love ends in drowning. All swimming in the ocean of love ends in drowning, meaning I, a tiny bubble of laughter, swimming in the little ocean of love, we get dissolved in it, we drown in it, and we become the sea of mirth itself. Saying it in two different ways. Love, joy, these character traits of the heart and the soul. So when you sit in the silence of deep meditation, joy bubbles up from within. Roused by no outer stimulus, the joy of meditation is overwhelming. It's almost, that's why he says the swimming in the ocean of love ends in drowning. It is overwhelming. It's almost like you can't take it. You can't take it. And I remember saying that to my mom when Erika passed away. I remember one day she called and I was not having the joy factor. And I was going deep into the well of that sorrow, that pain, that mourning. And trying to get through the trap door beyond the image of the human person. I am human. We are engaged in human form, and it's an important piece. We need to stay connected to one another. So I'm not saying to be careless with this beautiful organism. We need it to be here to experience life, the beauty of life. But I said to my mom, the pain was so great. I was like, I can't take it. And what I was feeling was something was just separating me out as wide as I've ever been. Like I can't hold it together. But right beyond that was I fell into this well of joy. It was bliss. It was the reminder that before this pain was this joy. And I started to bring that through, comb it through almost, if you will. Comb it through my consciousness to spark that remembrance of, this is truly who I am. This is an experience that is intense, but it is not who I am, and it's not where I end. There's something beyond. So it's kind of like reseeding along with a new consciousness. Like that seed of remembrance fell in the fertile soil of my consciousness. The tears maybe watered it, but it got in and I started to regrow my true nature, which had nothing to do with denial of the situation. It was full realization of who I am, what we are, what is ours to become, to remember. Awaken that joy in nothing. Love is stronger than death. Nothing can touch you. And nothing can take it away. It can't be taken away by anything you're watching on TV or listening to on the radio. The more you think these thoughts, like whatever condition is happening right now in our current situation, no matter which country you're in, there's something going on that might be pleasant or just not what you want to be seeing and hearing every day. Then don't keep watching and listening. Because creating mental waves, just keep saying to the universe, more please, more please. If nobody shows up for that show, guess what they take off Broadway? It doesn't matter. But that's what they take. It'll cycle out of the news once people lose interest in it. Lose interest immediately in things that are upsetting, unless it's yours to do in front of you to help rectify a situation. Or, like if you're in an emergency room, nurse or doctor, I'm not talking to you right now. What I'm saying is, know what's yours to do and do that thing. But always do it from a place of remembering. A place of remembering. Bring forth the wisdom of your soul. You will meet any experience with a peace that passeth understanding. What is not important is when you're experiencing something that is unlike love and joy, is to understand it. Do you really want to understand it? I don't, because that means I have to resonate with it. I don't need to understand. Maybe I do understand on some level some of the things that are going on. But mine does not stop in understanding. It stops in, how do we solve this? How do I solve it for myself? How do I hold on to my joy? And I guarantee you it's not anything that you can hold like that. I hold on to it by reminding myself that I'm with it always. It's impossible to lose. And no one can take it from you, no matter what. Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, that book about the Holocaust. The way I was having this conversation with a friend the other day about the way we experience different things. Like families, you grow up in the same house, eat the same food, listen to the same conversations, and one person is like this and one person's like that. Is it genes? Is it nature versus nurture? I don't know. All I know is, for me, the joy is within me. And nothing in my immediate circle has power over or in but my own consciousness. I choose joy. You with me? Yeah, so choose joy and watch how your life changes. And just remembering that in this joy, it's written through all of the sacred texts. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene is a new one. They're finding them all over. And all it talks about, they're finding them buried in the deserts in Africa and places like this. What we're finding is love is the only thing that we are here for. And joy. In joy and in more joy. In the light of mellow joy. And it is always with you. So do those things that remind you of the joy. Bring forth more of it on your own. There's a song called Corazón Global, which is the global heart. And may we all recognize our interconnectedness and be that spark of joy, first for self, and take that joy in the world in the form of all you do. Blessings.
Cascada de luna, cascada de sol, me baño de luz cristalina y cristalina me voy, cristalina me voy, cristalina me voy. Navego un mar estrellado, diluvio sideral. Abro el pecho infinito, de donde fluye el manantial, de donde fluye el manantial, de donde fluye el manantial. Abro el pecho y canto, abro el pecho y canto. Abro el pecho y canto, abro el pecho. Corazón global, corazón global, corazón global, corazón global, abriendo pecho al infinito, corazón, corazón global, ábreme mi corazón global, este corazón me guía, este corazón me llama, este corazón global heart. One family, one people, one planet, one love, 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 one family. One people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, planet, one love.
That's a fun one. What a song all about. Just to remind us that no matter where we are always interconnected. There's one soul, one spirit, one divine force, and we're it. So enjoy the rest of your week and keep a joy journal. Keep your joy journal and see how your life changes. See how much more joy you bring in, but how much more joy comes forth to share. You can give it away and keep getting more. Isn't that amazing? And this week, I want to remind everybody that there's no kirtan meditation on the 17th. There won't be one in August. We're taking a little break through the summer. There's no meditations coming out. We'll make sure we get that right in the newsletter. So, but we thank you for your donations. You know, there are a lot of students who go hungry through the summer because the school programs aren't sufficient in producing nourishment. So, thank you for your contributions. No amount is too great or too small. SoulCallGlobal.org/donate. You can find it on our website, SoulCallGlobal.org. Thank you so much for all of those contributions. It helps keep the good work we're doing. And coming around the bend, I hate to say it's July, but Christmas is coming. Mark your calendars for Wednesday, December 4th. It's going to be our Jazz Out the Holidays concert in Columbus. And all of that. So if you're looking around the house, we do silent auctions. You have items you'd like to donate, or you want to get involved in that somehow, drop an email to info@soulcallglobal.org. We're going to start organizing it a little bit. But before that, Friday, October 18th, we are having an open mic night. There's going to be more information in the newsletter. It's going to be the same place we did it last year at the Methodist Church building in Clintonville. What is it? Mennonite. Like I said. I'm just kidding. And so literally get your act together and come. It is a blast. Last year, 2 years ago, it was so much fun. Friday, October 18th. I know some people are rehearsing for it right now. So whatever your act is, let us know. And Bob Lippitz is going to be helping us with that. But we'll have more information in the newsletter. So we thank you for that. And remember, wherever you are, whatever is going on for you, there's that well of joy you can bring to the equation and see how things shift. You know, but always remember, ready to say it with me? You are loved. Peace and blessings. Thank
One
you.
family, one people, one planet, one love.